statistically speaking, 90% of property investors never get past two properties. And also, in a very pragmatic way, most investors, to achieve the life of freedom, choice, and abundance that they want, probably need five or so. So joining those two things together, it means that most investors, 90% of property investors, actually are never going to achieve their financial goals. And I'm interested in your viewpoint on why that might be.
Yeah, I mean, probably two main reasons. So access to credit is one.
Yeah.
And this is where we sort of position ourselves as sort of experts, working with investors, working with investment companies like yourself. I'm an investor. My team of brokers are investors as well. So we're quite passionate about investing. And it is a minefield out there. I mean, to navigate, I think there's 300 plus lenders and credit unions and things like that. It is a minefield in terms of, which lenders are more investment focused, which lenders are more investment strategic, which lenders offer higher borrowing capacities, which lenders offer niches where, they may exclude certain debts to allow you to continue purchasing property. So I see it all the time. Clients might go to their bank, or they might go to a mortgage broker that's not investment specific, and they come to us and say, hey, we're sort of maxed out. We can't continue growing past two. And I probably get one or two cases a week, Goose, some for your clients in terms of your teams, where we take a forensic look at their current asset and financial position, and they're leaving 500, 800, 900, sometimes up to $1 million on the table, purely because they don't know which lenders to navigate to. So that's part one. Part two is, I guess, deposits, equity is another piece as well. So, often clients save their deposit up for that first investment property, they tip it in, and then they're sort of hamstrung in terms of what they do. So little strategies, adding sort of value add things to your property. So cosmetic renovations, bathroom, painting, et cetera. Another thing that we do for a lot of our clients is we're quite strategic in terms of ordering multiple valuations on a property. And what I mean by that is all the banks instruct their own independent valuers, but sometimes you can get variances of up to 10%. So we, as
even more sometimes,
correct? Yeah. So we, as your strategic mortgage broker, can potentially manufacture equity, which can then be used, I should say, for that next investment purchase. Another little point as well on the valuation piece there, Goose, is using desktop valuations. And what that means, I guess, for the listeners and the viewers out there, a desktop valuation is basically a computer valuation that some banks use. A panel valuation is obviously when a valuer actually goes, knocks on your door, goes in, takes a few photos and things like that. So we understand some banks accept desktop valuations only, and some banks actually have higher desktop valuations than what the panel valuations actually come back at as well. So just another little strategic move where we know which lenders, hey, let's do a desktop valuation with lender A. This is going to come in, $50,000 higher or so than a full panel valuation with lender B. And instantly we've got more equity that the client can tip into that next purchase. So they're probably, I guess, income and, equity. How do we actually manufacture equity? They're probably the two biggest hindrances on, clients continue.
It's interesting because it's interesting because I agree with you, and just to probably replay it back in slightly different words, like as long as you're buying good properties in good locations, you're probably going to get capital growth, and over time actually that the ability to access the capital that you have in your portfolio will not be the restricting factor. The ability to continue to get debt, right, is going to be the restricting factor and the deciding factor between whether you can go again or not.
Correct.
Which is why, fundamentally, if you purely just chase cash flow and you're just buying far-flung tiny country towns with no economic fundamentals and that aren't going to grow and stuff like that, just chasing yield, you're probably going to go nowhere. Vice versa, if you try and only buy properties which I always say, like in Bondi or whatever, which is awesome, but you're going to be negative cash flow, you're probably not going to be able to borrow again. So it's about finding that balance. How do you get growth and cash flow to keep moving forward?
100%. I mean, you touched on a point there. Access to credit is the number one thing here.
Exactly.